17 is the relationship between the total cost Y of buying the material and renting the tools store C and the number of days X for the tools are rented is graphed on the XY plane. What does the slope of the line represent? So recall, this refers back to the table in the previous problem where we had a fixed cost of materials and a rental cost per day for the tools that were used in those materials. So we saw at the end of that, we could model this as a linear function. Let's see what the question in 17 is asking. What does the slope of the line represent? Okay, the slope of the line, as we probably already know, is, if we represent the slope as m, it's delta y, the change in y, divided by delta x, the change in x. But if we're interpreting it in words, we usually want to write that as per unit change in the x variable in the denominator. So our y represents cost of buying the materials and renting the tools, and x is the number of days. So per unit change in x is going to be every day or daily, as I can already see in some of the answers when I scan. Okay? So the slope will represent the cost of rental, not the fixed cost, but the daily rental cost of the equipment. So the total cost of the project, no. The total cost of the materials, no. The total daily cost of the project, no, because that includes the fixed amount. It's going to be the change in the cost, which is only going to be a function of the rental cost. So it's going to be the daily rental cost of the tools. It's per day, per unit change in x, and x gets multiplied by the rental cost for every extra day. So that is the correct answer. 17 is D. Number 18. So Jim has a drinking glass. It's a right circular cylinder, something like that. Terribly drawn, my apologies. It has a diameter of 3 inches. Be very careful. It's a diameter, not a radius. Diameter is 3. So if the diameter is 3, that means the radius is 3/2 or 1.5. Okay? If the height of the milk in each glass is about 6 inches, so our cylinder has a height that's equal to 6, what is the largest number of full milk glasses you can pour from 1 gallon? So they tell us 1 gallon is 231 cubic inches. So 1 gallon, 231, the total volume of the gallon, should be divided by the volume of each cup to get the number of cups. So the volume of each cup for a cylinder is going to be pi r squared, which is the area of the base, times the height. And what does that equal in this case? 231 divided by pi. And remember, r squared is 3/2 squared. So that's going to be 9/4 or 2 1/4. Okay, I'll write that as 2 1/4 for decimal for right now. Okay, and the height is 6. Okay, so I'm going to approximate my denominator here. It's 6 times 2 1/4. That's 12. 13.5 times pi, which is roughly 3. This is going to be roughly 40, so it's something just over 40. 231 divided by something just over 40 is going to give me a number that's going to be 5 plus some remainder. Okay, not sure what the remainder is, because if it's more than 40, that remainder becomes less than, say, 31. Okay, but does that really matter here? I think not, because we want the largest number of full milk glasses. Well, I can pour in 5 full glasses, and then I have a remainder, which means I cannot pour a 6th full glass. So even if this remainder is greater than 1/2, don't round up. Rounding makes no sense here logically in this problem. I have to have full glasses. Whatever remainder gets thrown out. The correct answer for 18 is C, 5 full glasses. Okay, if 3p minus 2 is greater than or equal to 1, what is the least possible value of 3p plus 2? Well, all I would do here is these are very closely related. I can just add 2 to both sides. And the result on the left will be, add 4, my mistake, to both sides. And the result on the left becomes 3p plus 2, the expression they want. Well, that's greater than or equal to 4 plus 1, which is 5. Now I have my answer. What is the least possible value for 3p plus 2? Well, it's going to be equal to 5, right? Everything else has to be greater. So the correct answer for 19 is A, 5.